who has joined us for the kickoff of our 2020 Quinte Business Week. This is over 40 years, I think, with BDC doing this event. And I think this year more than ever, we certainly recognize that the entrepreneurial spirit has to be sustained and supported through COVID. And so many have struggled to make things continue, move forward, and constant pivoting, as we use that word so often as we try to reconvene around what business looks like. Anyway, I want to thank BDC for supporting this event on an annual basis for so long. And I also want to thank our sponsors throughout this event. We have BDC, our municipalities, Quinte West, the county, Belleville. We also have Trendval as our primary sponsor. We also have the Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan. We have the Business and Professional Women of Trenton and District. We have Women Offering Resources and Knowledge. We have the Center for Workforce Development, and of course, the Small Business Center all joining us. I also want to thank our Bay of Quinte Chambers of Commerce. As a region, we come together every year to make this happen. And while we have distinct memberships and there's maybe lots of value in what we offer our own members individually, we recognize that in something like this, it really serves everyone to come together. And I hope that anybody joining sessions over the week will participate in any of those being offered through us at the Belleville Chamber, the Prince Edward County Chamber, or the Quinte West Chamber. I want to also thank their board members and the Quinte West Board Chair President Lori Dennis, the Belleville Board Chair President Greg Studs, and Prince Edward County, I believe that's Penny Valinsky. So thank you so much. Now, on behalf of each of our municipalities, I will ask that they bring a few words for each. So first I have Councillor Bill Sanderson on behalf of the City of Belleville.
Good morning, Jill, and to all the participants. Certainly I'm pleased to represent this morning Mayor Panchuk in the City of Belleville on this kickoff event. City Council and the City of Belleville certainly understand how difficult these uncertain times have been and continue to be. And with everything that businesses need to worry about, we certainly didn't want them to worry about the municipal services that they count on. And so we've taken steps necessary to ensure the continuity of the City of Belleville services, and regardless of what the future throws at us. And while doing that, we did recognize that these are extraordinary times, and we passed along a slightly negative tax rate for 2020. And we also continue to work to make relief arrangements as we did for payments this spring. We continue to be there for business and as well as our residents. And when we do exit this COVID situation, which doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon, we will be ready immediately to take advantage of the rebounding economic demand. And we've continued to put in place a very aggressive capital investment program to improve the community. And so with that, I'd like to just wish good luck to everyone as we forge the way forward.
Okay, thank you so much, Councillor Sanderson. And now I would like to pass it over to Mayor Jim Harrison for Quinte West.
Just 5 words you have to remember. Anyways, thank you very much for the opportunity, and thanks for all the work you do. Yes, it is a challenge. Everything's a challenge and always has been and always will be. COVID's just one more that we're working with, and it's taking all our strength. But as long as we stick together, work together, we will be able to help everybody move forward. You know, and I really appreciate the chamber. I appreciate all the work you do and all the good things that you accomplish, because all in all, we're stronger together, and we've proven it. We've proven it this year in particular, because, You know, we started this in January, ladies and gentlemen. I worked hard in January with a pair of shoes traveling over snowbanks to follow through with the base, and what a good job they did. And we put a protocol in place back then, and it's really helped us at City Hall to keep functioning. And I don't think we missed a beat. And I really look forward to the next meeting where we celebrate the businesses and their achievements. And anything that we can do, yes, anything that we can do in Quinte West to help businesses and to make things better and more of an opportunity, we're most willing to do that. And today in particular, we should be thankful because it's raining. Yes, you know, there's many people on wells are finding it a challenge this year. It's been really dry. So I'm thankful for Mother Nature. I'm thankful for all the farmers and all the things they do to produce the food that I obviously thrive on. And I'm sure you do. And thanks again to the Chamber. Keep up the good work. We really appreciate the work you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Harrison. And now, last but not least, Mayor Steve Ferguson from Prince Edward County, if you'd like to join us with a few words. Please unmute.
I'm so used to telling other people to. Thank you, Jill, and thank you to the Chamber for allowing the opportunity to make some brief remarks. I don't have to tell any of you, that this year has been unprecedented and has demanded extraordinary efforts from the business community and individual business operators. I've watched with absolute amazement as businesses in Prince Edward County and actually throughout the region have reinvented themselves seemingly overnight. I'll provide a few examples, local examples. The Bloomfield Public House in Bloomfield transformed itself into a much needed market that features takeaway and prepared foods. The Mustang Drive-In, operating under very new owners, Don and Drew, have hosted successful drive-in concerts. Restaurants and retailers throughout the county have begun offering takeout and curbside pickup. Businesses of all sorts have established websites and began engaging in e-commerce activities. We even had a drive-through Picton Fair this year. The innovation and creativity that it takes to survive right now is pretty staggering. It's not just about finding the strength and resources to reinvent your business to keep it going. It's not just about finding ways to stay afloat amid restrictions. It's also about the emotional toll that in taking on the responsibility of keeping staff, clientele, and the community safe. We had, I think as everybody knows, a very intense summer, and we continue to see people traveling to our region in large numbers, and our businesses are accommodating them as best they can. And our success in keeping our numbers low is quite attributable to our business community and the steps they have taken. So thank you to the organizers for creating this opportunity to highlight and recognize innovation, commitment, and passion in our business community. We need it now more than ever. So congratulations to the nominees for the awards, and all the best from myself and Municipal Council for a successful business week this week. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we have Mpp Todd Smith, who was unable to join us this morning, but has sent us a video. And as I go through the screen sharing process, I have it sitting 7 places right now. So I'm just trying to make sure we get the best one. So just bear with me for a moment. I get this ready to go. Share screen. Share. And
hi there, I'm Todd Smith, your Member of Provincial Parliament for Bay of Quinte and Ontario's Minister of Children, Community and Social Services. I'm delighted to join you for the kickoff of Small Business Week 2020. A single week doesn't seem like enough to celebrate how important our business community is to us here in the Quinte region or across Ontario. Small businesses make up close to 98% of the Ontario economy, and they're responsible for practically every aspect of our lives, from the food we eat to our homes and shelter, the clothes on our back, and the experiences we share day to day. They provide jobs, and often their generosity makes our community much better as they sponsor sports and the arts, our hospital foundations, and service agencies too. We know that it's been a tough year for our business community, given the precautions that we took in the face of COVID-19. But we are eager to do everything that we can
Oh, sorry, I think I...
to help our businesses recover and prosper and get back to where we were. The provincial government deferred or reduced the number of fees and taxes, provided electricity relief, and partnered with the federal government on programs like the commercial rent relief and wage subsidy programs, as well as other funding. We've listened to you and planned more support through our Main Street Recovery Plan, including PPE grants for businesses with fewer than 10 employees, small business enterprise centers, and a dedicated webpage to offer advice and links to assistance, mental health supports, and a commitment to modernizing regulation to make it easier to do business. If you've got an idea on how we can remove red tape that limits your potential, or how we can assist with your recovery, please share it with my office and we'll take it to Ontario's Jobs and Recovery Committee. I salute you all for your ongoing work, and I'm proud to champion our local businesses in the Bay of Quinte region whenever and wherever possible. Enjoy the events our Chambers of Commerce have arranged throughout the week. Have a great Small Business Week.
Okay, so there we are. Thank you very much on behalf of Todd Smith. And I think now we have some words from our MP, Neil Ellis.
Good morning, Jill, and it's a pleasure to see everybody and be with everybody to kick off Business Week here in the Bay of Quinte. We all know how essential our businesses are to our economy, the men and women who show entrepreneurial resilience despite the challenges that COVID-19 has placed on us this year. This week is a great opportunity to recognize the hard work of businesses that continue to provide services and goods that help all of us. It's also fitting to acknowledge the Chambers of Commerce in our riding and the tireless work that their staff provide to the business community. Thank you all for all you do. I'm looking forward to the week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. So now, I guess for our pièce de résistance today, we have Derek Morgan as our BDC Senior Account Manager, brings greetings and the release of a new report. So Derek, I will pass it over to you. So unmute, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Correct. And can you see my screen?
yes.
Perfect.
See you, but not your screen.
I'm gonna share.
There it comes. There
We good, Jill?
Yep, we got her.
Very good. Thank you.
Perfect. Gonna bring up one more thing here. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. The coronavirus pandemic has caused one of the largest economic crises in history, but Canadian entrepreneurs are responding with courage and resilience. BDC is adapting too. This is the first ever virtual Small Business Week with events and webinars you can attend from anywhere. So today I'm going to talk about two things. We've done a bunch of studies, so some of the impacts that are impacting SMEs, and then how businesses are forging forward. BDC is the bank for entrepreneurs. So before I get into those two topics, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the BDC. I belong to the financing group, so we fund assets and equipment, land and buildings, working capital, etc. In my group, we also have a BDC Capital, which is our investment arm, where we actually invest in companies in an equity position. And then we also have our advisory services, which is essentially the brain trust of our organization. and they can assist businesses with everything from strategic plans to becoming more efficient, how to grow their top line sales, etc. So let's get into the impact the pandemic has had on the economy. You've probably seen the stat in the past where 99.8% of small businesses have less than 500 employees. 76% of those small businesses reported a decrease in sales during the pandemic. 45% have reduced staff. 76% reported a decrease in profit, and 39% took on additional debt. Two more stats here. 3 million Canadians in April had lost their jobs as a result of the pandemic. And still in August, 1 million Canadians were still unemployed. The Canadian economy is recovering faster than initially anticipated, but the pace is slowing down. And there are some businesses that are actually doing extremely well. If you're in the food and manufacturing sectors, some of them have actually done better than they were pre-COVID. But you still have some industries like tourism, hotels, restaurants, air travel that are going to be impacted for years to come and have had larger impact than the ones previously discussed. One out of 2 Canadians lost purchasing power. And you can see the slide here. This is going to have an impact for years to come in terms of people have less money in their pockets to spend on miscellaneous items. I'm just going to skip to the next slide here. On consumer side, we found out that pandemic has changed Canadian habits. So consumers are playing it safe when it comes to their spending. Being able to sell online is a must. Buying locally and responsibly has become very popular, and health is still the main concern of most Canadians. How are Canadian entrepreneurs adapting to their businesses to the crisis? To better understand this, we did 2 surveys, both in June and July, or May and June. So we surveyed 1,000 Canadian SME leaders, and we also did a survey on 2,000 consumers in May. So let me just get into some of this. Canadian entrepreneurs showed ingenuity in adapting to crisis and challenges. Some Canadian businesses have really changed how they do businesses through this pandemic. So I'm just going to get into the 5 priorities of Canadian entrepreneurs. I'll take a few minutes to go through the five items. The first is putting my finances in order. The first strategy is to clean up the balance sheet. Nearly 4 in 10 entrepreneurs say they will prioritize financial recovery. The pandemic has greatly affected Canadian SMEs' finances. Many experienced a drastic drop in revenues, while their costs fell only marginally. So the 4 actions the companies are looking to do is balance cash flow inflows and outflows. They're doing this by obviously reducing operating costs, controlling cash flow, and reducing debt is also a priority. Real estate and leasing businesses are among the most likely to reduce their debts during this time frame. So in the time of crisis, cash becomes even more important than usually is for a company. Getting your finances in order will sustain ongoing operations and facilitate recovery when the crisis is over. A good place to start when attempting to reduce your operating costs is to find recurring operating expenses that can be suspended in the short term. For example, your landlord, would your landlord be able to postpone rent payments? And as we know, the government has put in some programs to assist with that. Can you temporarily stop some of your communication expenses? A lot of people are working from home and not on the road, so we're seeing some savings on that front. Improving cash flow management. So understanding your cash flow is imperative. When we look at working capital is the money that you need to continue your day-to-day operations, but that flow stopped during the slowdown. What will be left at the end of this, what working capital will you have in order to finance your recovery? So that's one of the things that small businesses have, or is priority on most of their minds at this point. You need to manage your debt. You have to be prudent. Don't expect to bounce back pre-COVID levels right away. Do the math, use your rolling cash flow plan, determine how much money you need and how much you can realistically pay back, and go at your own pace. So if you have the cash flow, you can grow aggressively. If you don't, take it easy and be cautious. Setting up a contingency fund is the number 2 item on small business minds. Starting a savings cash or start saving cash is important. Setting up a contingency fund, deposit cash whenever you can, create a cushion to buffer through these challenging times and through this second phase or second wave of the virus. Taking advantage of technology. The second priority for entrepreneurs is doing just that. We were very pleased to see that many entrepreneurs are determined to modernize their business and make them more productive by investing in technology. Here are the top items that businesses are looking at when implementing technology. You can see that the most important is allowing workers to physically work from home, right up to digitalizing supply chains. In a previous study that we had done a year or 2 ago, we looked at businesses that invested in technology, saw increasing returns based on how much more they invested. So if they invested less than $10,000, it was 5.4%. Into some larger companies, when they invested over $500,000 to $1 million, they saw up to 15.6% return on that investment. Excuse me. So think ahead to manage your risk. The right time to think about risks to your technology system is before something bad happens. A few simple steps will allow your company to continue running seamlessly, or at least minimize the cost of a major information technology problem. We believe the key to profitable tech investment is to start with small projects. Don't try to implement too many changes too quickly. Instead, look for quick wins and technologies that will have the greatest upside for your business. Focusing on telework, third priority for SMEs. Canadian entrepreneurs want to continue to integrate telework into their business practices. 60% of SMEs are relying on telework post-crisis, up from 50% before the crisis. So there are many positive impacts and outcomes entrepreneurs have identified for teleworking. The organization's ability to innovate is up 55%, employee productivity 52%, employee motivation 49%, the ability to attract employees 44%, and corporate culture is up 34% is one of the priorities. So providing the right tools to help employees work from home, you need to ensure they have the right tools. Here are some steps you can take to do so. Invest in equipment and infrastructure that allow your team to work successfully from home. Take advantage of free or low cost tools such as Zoom that we're using now, Google Hangouts, Skype, Microsoft Teams. There's Trello for Basecamp, for project management, and a lot of other interesting and unique technologies that are out there. The one biggest thing is make sure everything is using the same technology. So if you pick Google Hangouts or Zoom, make sure everybody knows how to use it and is always using that same system. It decreases the amount of mess ups and whatnot. So next, ramp up communications. So one thing you have to look at is increasing the frequency of team meetings. Hold weekly one-on-one check-ins with employees. Be open and straightforward to foster connections with your team. And where possible, leverage technology to host video calls. And managers that are out there, you need to potentially adapt your management style. Because you have less direct control over remote teams, you may need to adopt a new management style in general. Give staff more autonomy, shift expectations, be flexible, and support your managers. So the fourth priority is online sales. Companies that were already selling online were less affected or impacted by the lockdown. No surprise that 3/4 of businesses that want to increase their online sales already have an online presence. Boost your online presence. There's much more to getting online than just building a website and hoping people find it. The same is true for any website, whether you're set up for e-commerce or not. Your website is just one piece of a puzzle that will allow customers to find, evaluate, buy from, and then stay in contact with you online. For a fully functioning online business, consumers need to have a smooth experience at each touch point, whether it be on your website, social media, or mobile applications. The trick to success is to use these tools the right way at the right time. Getting online can be done very quickly and without too much investment. Here are key things you should consider to become a web-based seller. You can read through those: order fulfillment, payment methods, technology, customer service, etc. 56% of consumers have made more purchases online since the crisis began. And so what you don't want to ever see is page not found. And 50% of Canadian businesses actually don't have a website. So if you're not online, your business is invisible right now to a lot of consumers. An online presence can help grow sales and insulate your business from potential lockdowns. And then we're on to the last point, which is reviving growth, the fifth priority. Many Canadian businesses experience a significant drop in revenue as a result of the pandemic. Canadian entrepreneurs now want to rectify the situation and refill their order books. Among entrepreneurs who expect to still be here a year from now, nearly a quarter are prioritizing expansion after the crisis. Some great acquisition opportunities. Others want to take advantage of sectors that still are doing well. One thing is certain, entrepreneurs are not losing sight on growth. Here are the reasons to revive growth after the COVID crisis. So ensuring company survival is number one. Diversifying customer base, diversifying customers' service offers, and etc. Whoops. The brakes on growth. So obviously the impact of a second wave, and we're kind of in that now. Uncertain economic environment and difficulty finding labor. 2 out of 5 companies also mentioned the impact of a second wave. So that's obviously front and center in terms of the minds of small businesses. Successful businesses are more likely to use a strategic plan. Up to 80% of successful companies are developing strategic plans. A strategic plan is a management tool that outlines a company's future state, as well as resources and tactics it will use to arrive there. It's a powerful tool for generating growth and delivering profound business transformation, mainly due to its capacity to orient an entire organization toward the same direction. A good strategic plan defines a company's competitive advantage, communicates the company's vision and strategies to its staff, prioritize both operational and financial needs, delivers focus and direction to move the plan into action. So full strategic planning exercise reviews all activities and areas of company to determine the future direction, objectives, and vision for the business. Today, we limit our focus on 3 areas undergoing change due to the current crisis. And that is the changing customer needs and your positioning. The channels are, distribution channels and procurement and operations. So those are the 3 focuses that the BDC is focusing on when helping companies look at strategic planning. I'm gonna skip this next slide. Can just take a quick glance at that, and I'm going to move on to the 5 priorities. So put finances in order, take advantage of technology, focus on telework, sell online, and obviously revive their growth. As Canada's bank for entrepreneurs, we will continue to be here to accompany entrepreneurs as they plan for these 5 priorities and to support them get through a second wave and down the road of recovery with financing and advice. This is what our role is as a development bank, and we will continue to play this role. Thank you, and if you have any questions, you can email me at derek.morgan@bdc.ca. And back over to you, Suzanne or Jill.
Thanks very much, Derek. That was great. I think we're all trying to figure out how to make it through these coming months, and the challenge is not over. I think many, and probably Prince Edward County, feels this just as much as anyone, that with the tourism season behind us, and now what happens over the next few months, if some of those businesses weren't able to capture enough income over the past weeks, whether they'll be able to go through. So I hope that you'll join us for some of those conversations as we move on. We have sessions with both the MPP and the MP on Thursday, talking about what we see going forward, and those will be opportunities perhaps to have conversations about where you feel most vulnerable. And but there are a number of different sessions over the course of the next few days that I think everybody will take advantage of and enjoy. And that is finally ended with our Quinte Business Achievement Awards event that comes into play on Friday. I'm just going to, I'll just put the little blurb up there so you can see the, sorry. So yes, we'll be joining our nominees and we'll be announcing the winners live for this year's Quinte Business Achievement Awards. We had a number of people who have showed extreme resilience over the last year and the last few months, and we certainly have to accept that we do need to celebrate them, even though it may seem hard to do that during this time. As with anything, when you're in a period of stress, where we can find joy, it's important, and certainly we're excited to be able to present this event. And it will be free this year because we're going live, we're going virtual. So anyway, qbaa.ca, register for free, and links and information will be sent out to you over the course of the coming week. So I don't know if there's anything else anybody else would like to share. As always, it's our pleasure to be a part of this week and to be able to bring together some talented content and talented people who share kind of what our communities do to keep moving forward. So unless Suzanne or Leslie has something to say, I think we're ready to go.
I can just mention that it is an exciting week. I don't know if there's any media on the webinar this morning that would like to ask questions of any of the panelists. If they are, maybe they can put their hand up or they could put it in the chat. From the Quinte West Chamber of Commerce, we're excited to be partnering with Belleville and Prince Edward County once again. It is always a very exciting week as we celebrate the resilience of businesses, for sure.
And I don't know, Leslie, I'm just waiting to see, we do have some media on, so I'm just checking to see if they put up their hand. I'm not seeing anything yet, but Leslie, if you have anything you want to add, feel free.
Just thank you to everybody for joining us today, and looking forward to seeing everybody in the workshops this week. We do have a great lineup of opportunities for everyone. The links are on all of our websites and social media, so if you have not yet registered, please take the opportunity to do so today. We'll take you all through the week. So if you're last minute, it's never too late.
Okay, well then thank you all for joining us today. And Lisa has recorded this event, so we'll have that available for you later. All right, thanks. Have a great day. Have a great week.
Hey, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.